Um, I'm trying. Hey, Gloria. Well, we got Gloria back. Boy, that was weird. It just went out entirely. I looked up and the thing was buffering, and I waited and waited for like, I don't know how many minutes, and it just wasn't stopping buffering. So, probably, hey, Beth, probably messed up something in the internet. It does that every once in a while, but usually I can go in and tell it to disconnect and reconnect, and it will. It wasn't having any of that today, so unfortunately, so I actually left and restarted, Gloria. It was telling me it wasn't coming back. But hey, Cynthia. So I'm going to wait for a little while till hopefully some more people come on, and then we'll get back to doing our birthmark. I did get the one strand finished, and then as I was saying, this does have a slightly sharp edge right here, where the hole is punched into our piece here, and I'll give that a little bit of a file to hopefully get the sharp edge off. But I could use a wire guardian here and just go right in, but the wire guardians will not fit through this hole. I've tried it before, so I don't bother. And the other thing is, the one and only time I've had a Soflex wire break was when it was right at the very edge of the wire guardian, because what a lot of people don't think about is the wire guardian is also a piece of metal, and you've got a start and a finish spot as you go in and out, and if you're not careful, those spots, uh, if they're not clean, then they also um, are giving you a sharp edge. So, six of one, half a dozen of the other, which is better? So, I just don't use them. I just make a loop instead of putting it directly through uh, my what do you call these things? I don't know. I can't remember. Very strange. Whatever. Doesn't matter. They're where the ribbon held at. so we got this one finished here. And so we're just going to go over and do our second one. So as I said, you put a ribbon on these hook onto here, and when you want to keep your book place marked, then it's just a matter of you put the ribbon through the middle of your pages, and the beads hang out from the top and the bottom. So put our little stop bead down on here. Our magical crimpers right over that. Let that go in the divot. Push this back down here and crimp. And just go around. Soflex always says go to the 15-minute marks on your clock. And just turn it in every little bit so you get at least 4. So then it makes that little button sort of thing there. A little round bead. And then we'll just string up our beads just like we did on the other side. And looks like we only got a few of us back. Sorry about that. I was hoping we'd get more people popping back on, but obviously we didn't. But yeah, like I said, I was really shocked when Lauren said that this was rainbow moonstone that had been dyed. And I'm like, you dyed rainbow moonstone? Why did you dye rainbow moonstone? But she said that they had asked for peach moonstone and the from her distributor, and they had said that, well, we can get you some, and then they told her that it was dyed rainbow moonstone, and I was like, that's sort of shocking. Peach moonstone is quite a bit, how do I want to put it, less well, it's just less. It's generally not as expensive. I don't know if that's because it's harder to come by rainbow moonstone. But she said that she remembered after she asked about it that they called peach moonstone sunstone, and that's they are both feldspars, sunstone and moonstone. So feldspars. So, well, come on, go through there. There we go. We want to just pull this up and push it down until we get it where we want it here. I probably want a little bit more of a loop up here, a little more thread. It's not thread, it's wire. Well, there we go. So I worked that up so I got a little bit more there, and push this bead down with my thumbnail, and then get our magical crimpers in here so they're around that bead, and crimp, turn and crimp. Now I usually just keep turning and crimping until when you put it over it, you can see it's not even got anything to crimp anymore. It's all the way down. So then we will get our clippers out here and clip this little bit extra off. And here's our two pieces all ready to go. Looks like I have an extra crimp there. So it doesn't look like all that many of us found me again. Maybe they just figured I quit. But so now what we need to do is cut a piece of ribbon. I've got this light blue, and we want to cut it the length of, got a little fray right here, so I'm going to cut it off. We want this to be the length of the interior of a paperback book, plus about 1 inch, so you have about a 1/2 inch to hang out. And I didn't think to bring a paperback book with me. I think it's about 9 inches, though. Stevie, can you get me a paperback book?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thanks, sweetheart. So then you want to take and get your ribbon. You want as much to go inside, and then you want about 1/2 inch on either side, so that you've got some room for your bead strand to turn and not be jammed up in your book. So we want to be about right here. So we'll cut that off. Thanks, babe.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, I didn't get that cut very straight, so I'm going to cut just a touch off the top again. So now what we want to do is we want to take this ribbon. How long did it end up being? Well, my memory wasn't quite right because it's only 8 inches. It could have, and I said 9, so 8 is what we want. And now what we need to do, we can put these away because we don't need any of these, is we need to take a little bit of super glue. And one thing I do sometimes is I look at these, and sometimes it's the sides are long enough that when you push them down, they don't want to go flat because so because they're a little bit extra long, usually I take and cut just a little bit off of at least one side, so that when I do fold it, I got to make sure I fold that side I cut down, because that will then lay inside here easier. Because, like I say, they're just as long, if not longer, than the middle here. And so we need to have that little bit of extra out. So we're going to put these aside so they're not in the way. My glue here. And I need my silicone mat. We're going to bring our pieces up here. Okay, this is the side I cut on this one. And on this one, oop, don't drop it. It's the outer one. So we got, we're going either direction here. We need to put a touch, just a drop of super glue right inside. Excellent, Gloria. Always nice to have a cell, isn't it? The reason I decided I needed to make a bookmark today was because I sold one of the last 2 ribbon ones I had on my site. So I'm going to have to put a few of things on my site because I haven't for a while. And so a drop of super glue. This is Loctite super glue. And on either side, it's gel, so it lets it can sit for a little while without being a major problem. In fact, sometimes it's better to sit for a little bit so that when you put the ribbon on, it's got a little bit already started to dry there a little bit. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Baby, would you behave? So I'm going to let that dry for a few moments sitting there, and then we will tighten it up some. So once that starts to tighten, I get some pliers out. Mm-hmm. And we're going to just turn over our smaller edge, the edge we cut. We're going to start turning it. push it down here on here. Come on, baby. So got that one we cut down. See how it's already in right at the middle, even though we cut it. So then this one will then comes down and goes right over the top there. So there's that side done. Now we'll do the same over here. Looks like it's the outer piece that I cut this time. So I'm going to pull this, try and pull this down some, like just like that. And then we'll get up and go through here and go and push it down. And still we see, even with cutting it off, I'm right there at the edge. So now we go with our other one. Come on, you. Oh boy, it doesn't want to. Well, just have to hold it a little tighter there. There we go. And now we've got that one folded down. So there's our ribbon in. All finished with the ribbon. Now it just has to dry a little bit. I don't know how wet it still is, but it's probably a little bit wet still. I always put a silicone mat down. Well, I shouldn't say always, but I try to remember to always put my silicone mat down when I'm gluing or painting. That way we don't have to worry about the paint getting on. So we need to get a couple of jump rings, and then we will we'll just grab a couple of jump rings. Let's see what color we're going to come up with over here. I have both. Now we don't want to do bronze. We'll just go with our gold. Wish I had the copper ones of these, but we don't. So get a couple of these out. It was mine, hon.
Oh. Trying to get a new shirt before you buy it.
So anyway, so we'll open up our jump rings here. Oop. Now you may have noticed I did not use these pliers when I closed those up. And that's because sometimes the super glue gooshes out a little bit, and I did not want to get it on these pliers. So I used a different pair. So we'll just go through our loop here, and then through our loop here, and close her up. That side's done. And we will do the same over here on the other side. Twisting motion to undo this. We went over here and then through this loop. Close her up. And voila, she be done. One little ribbon bookmark. Isn't that cute? And then, as I said, to go in your book, you just open your pages up and it goes right in the middle like so. Hangs down both top and bottom just a little bit. And there you are. That's how it works. Pretty nice. Hang out bottom, hang out top. And you have a lovely little bookmark. All finished. So there we go. I know, unfortunately, a lot of you did not, that were in the original one, did not manage to make it back. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully they can watch the replay and see how to finish this up. But I think it turned out quite cute, and I really like it. So
Thank you for all the well wishes from them.
yes, and my hubby says thank you for all the well wishes. And we're going to turn up here. And whoa. Oh, she's doing that again. Not liking that. Sorry, the tripod is doing its little trick of sliding again. There is a nut that I need to fix to get it to stop doing that. So, more of you were on than I thought. I'm glad to see that. It turned out pretty good, I think. There we go. And so that's a ribbon bookmark. Not real hard, just have to make a couple of bead strands and get your ribbon in the carriers, and there you go. It's pretty easy to make, and I hope you guys enjoyed making it with me. Sorry about the little decision by the camera to or the internet going out. But oh, Marcia, I hadn't noticed you had made it. It was good to have you on. My foot is feeling much better, Mary. Do I prefer the narrow ribbon or the wider ribbon? You know, either is fine. I make slightly, not really wide, slightly wider, and I do have carriers for the slightly wider. I even have some for even bigger than that, but I prefer these thin ones. They don't have to be super thin like this one is, but just dang, camera is slipping. Sorry, guys. I like the thinner ribbon best rather than anything more than like a 1/4 inch. I think is a little big, but so anyway, looks like I'm not sure Heather made it back, but we made it over that hour because this one's 23 minutes and the original one was 50. So nothing new, right? Anyway, we got our bookmark finished. I like it. I think it turned out really cute. And so we'll see everybody Friday for the live. And I will try to have some recorded videos for tomorrow and Thursday. And of course, we'll have the members live on Thursday afternoon. If you're not a member and would like to be a member, there is in the description, there is a join button for the membership. For the members, get the regular videos that I do, the recorded ones early, and get a members live on Thursday afternoon. Last week I did manage to do one. We made a little bracelet, a little bangle bracelet. And that was sort of fun. So it's a little bangle bracelet. And anyway, members is $4.99, so it's not atrocious. And we gave a mug away, one of my logo mugs away when we hit 25 members. And I'm going to give another one away when we hit 50 members. But right now we're only at 24. We lost a few, unfortunately. I knew we were going to lose one because one of the ladies was moving and was not going to be able to be on for a while. So she was going to drop her membership. And I knew that. She had told me so. So anyway, I think we're going to go for the day. I'm getting a wee bit sore from sitting here, but not too bad. But so we're going to go for the day, and I will be recording a video for tomorrow. So, so members, keep an eye out because it should be up by the afternoon. We're going to use the Softflex's Surf's Up kit to macrame a bracelet with the bamboo beads from the Surf's Up kit. Let's see if we could show you those. You could make a necklace out of it, yes. There's no reason you couldn't, especially like a lariat style where you could type. There's the hubby, and there's Lily. Say hi, Lily. Can you say hi to people, Lily?
Of course not. She's a cat.
Anyway, there's the bamboo beads we're going to use for making another macrame bracelet. So anyway, we'll see you all later, and I hope that you had a lovely day with me today, and I hope you have a lovely day for the rest of the afternoon. And we'll see everybody on Friday. Bye-bye.
That's the thing that's sick. It was so nice.